Hi, my name is Stephanie Herron, and I'm a master gardener with UC California, Sacramento. And I work here in the Fair Oaks Horticulture Center, and I spend a lot of time in the orchard. A lot of new gardeners tell me it's very hard for them to thin their fruit off their new trees, thinking, why would they remove perfectly good fruit from their tree? And I would like to explain why we do that and how we do that. First, the why. Fruit trees usually produce more fruit than they could support or develop adequately. Too much fruit competes for the tree's stored energy, resulting in small fruit. A large crop also drains the tree's resources and weakens it, leaving it more susceptible to pests. Also, if fruit are touching each other, diseases can spread from one fruit to another more easily. Leaving too much fruit one year can also lead to alternate bearing, a cycle where you have way too much fruit one year and very few fruit the next year. And finally, heavy crops of fruit can also break limbs. Thinning fruit minimizes or keeps all of these problems from developing. Fruits will naturally thin themselves. You have heard probably of the term June drop. This usually happens in California in May. In some trees, such as cherries, figs, persimmons, pomegranates, citrus, and nut trees, the nature's thinning is usually enough. Stone fruits, such as peaches, apricots, nectarines, and plums, will require additional thinning. Some fruits like apples and Asian pears will also need thinning. The timing of thinning is important. Ideally, you'll thin your fruit when they're small in April or May. Thin stone fruits when they are 3/4 to 1 inch in diameter. Apples and pears can be thinned when they are 1/2 to 1 inch in diameter. How much fruit to thin depends on the fruit species and how much fruit is on the tree. Small fruits such as plums or these pluaries can be thinned to 2 to 4 inches apart. Larger fruits such as nectarines should be thinned to 3 to 5 inches. If the crop is very heavy, you can thin even more to 6 to 8 inches apart. As a general rule of thumb, when you're thinning fruit, 2 inches is about the length of your thumb, 3 inches is about the width of your knuckles, and 6 inches is about pinky to thumb. Pome fruits, such as apples, produce a cluster of fruit per bud. In this case, leave only 1 or 2 fruits per cluster. The most common method of thinning in the home orchard is done by hand. You could twist the fruit off or use your pruner. Fruit on taller trees can be pruned by hitting it with a padded stick, which is not as accurate. Ease of thinning, pruning, and harvesting fruit is why we keep our trees shorter here in the Hort Center. The goal is to remove enough fruit so that the remaining fruit will not touch at maturity. Start by removing fused and damaged fruit when you can. Remove smaller fruit over larger fruit, and fruit near the outer limb, especially on long branches with heavy crops. I know it's hard to remove that beautiful fruit, but if you thin as appropriate, you'll be rewarded with a healthy, long-lived tree and beautiful fruit over many years.
That is good.